U to the young to the ooh. Young to the good to the runny.
One day, a mother from North Korea left her daughter at an orphanage, because she had to turn herself in to go to jail. The mother's name is Hang Sim. Young-woo and Soo-yeon meet Hang Sim in prison. Hang Sim tells that 5 years ago she fled to South Korea. Hang Sim demands back the 10 million won she deposited with a North Korean defector broker. But she is told that the money is with a woman named Lee Soon-young. Apart from Hang Sim, Kim Jong-hee's money is also with Lee Soon-young. Kim Jong-hee also fled from North Korea. The two women go to Lee Soon-young's house to collect their money. At that time, the two of them pretended to be rude to collect the debt, but because Soon-young did not give the money to them, a commotion broke out and injured Soon-young's joints. Hearing the commotion, the owner of the house downstairs called the police. At that time Hang Sim managed to escape. She intended to raise her daughter who was then 3 years old. Meanwhile Jong-hee was caught and served 4 years for being accused of assaulting Soon-young and theft. Now that Hang Sim's daughter is big, she already recognizes Hang Sim as her mother. Then Hang Sim sent her daughter to an orphanage, and she turned herself into the police. Hang Sim hopes that after she gets out of prison, she will pick up her daughter and they can be happy together. Young-woo and Soo-yeon are touched to hear Hang Sim's life story. They say that they will try their best to defend Hang Sim, so that she gets a light sentence. The next day, Young-woo and Soo-yeon go to see Jong-hee's lawyer. This lawyer said that Jong-hee was sentenced to 4 years in prison because the doctor's post-mortem on Soon-young's wound was very burdensome for Jong-hee. This doctor apparently wrote an article that he hates fleeing from North Korea. After that Young-woo, Soo-yeon and Junho went to Soon-young's house. They see Soon-young being abused by a man in front of her house. The owner of the house downstairs told Junho that Soon-young often received harsh treatment from the man, and this had been going on for 5 years. During the trial, Soon-young's wounds looked the same as they did 5 years ago, even though these wounds were caused by that man. But Soon-young denies remembering the incident 5 years ago. This makes Hang Sim angry and frustrated to make a scene. The doctor who performed the post-mortem examination on Soon-young 5 years ago testified. But Young-woo managed to break his testimony by showing an article that this doctor hates North Korean refugees. This put the jury on their side. After the trial, they ate together in the Hanbada office cafeteria. Suddenly Seungjin, another team from Hanbada, is angry at Myung-sok. It turned out that the doctor was the head of the executive group of doctors, and the doctor cancelled the legal cooperation contract with Seungjin. After Seungjin left, Myung-sok told his team to keep working hard to solve this case. Young-woo and Soo-yeon bring Hang Sim's daughter to meet Hang Sim. This meeting made Young-woo remember that she did not have a mother. Later in court, Young-woo proposed a North Korean law that does not punish people who take their own money as severely as the law in South Korea. Young-woo said that the defendant thought her actions were acceptable, because she is from North Korea. Then the judge asks Hang Sim, but Hang Sim replies that she doesn't even know North Korean law. Young-woo and Soo-yeon, who don't want to give up so easily, finally meet the judge outside the courtroom. The judge asks why they are so passionate about defending Hang Sim. Young-woo says that Hang Sim is an uneducated person and does as she pleases, even now she doesn't know what she did wrong. She chose to be a fugitive for 5 years not to leave her child. She spent years raising her daughter alone to become an adult before her mother was imprisoned. It's time to read the judge's verdict. Young-woo and Soo-yeon, who are resigned to the outcome of the verdict, are actually happy with the result. It turns out that the judge only sentenced Hang Sim to 3 years of probation, arguing that she has admitted her guilt even after 5 years. This comes as a shock to Young-woo and Soo-yeon, who feel like fools for missing out on the fact that Hang Sim turned herself in, so this could lighten her sentence. Soo-mi, CEO of Tyson Law Firm, is shopping at a department store. Then Young-woo and Soo-yeon arrived at the same place. It can be seen that Soo-mi and Young-woo have the same habit of tidying up the things on the table. Unknowingly they both passed each other. Hanbada's lawyers are handling the case of a road construction project that crosses a village of Sadokdong. This project divided the villagers. Hanboda's team of lawyers discussed the case and realized that there was little chance of winning this case. The villagers begged the Hanboda team of lawyers to help them. Hanboda's team of lawyers went to visit this village at the invitation of the village head. They were welcomed by the village people. Village head showed them the hackberry tree, a historic monumental tree for the village. They saw the beauty of the village. After returning from Sadokdong village, the Hanboda lawyers are ready to fight for the villagers with the village's very rich history. Hanboda's lawyers went through documents and other related materials day and night. Junho stopped by to give them additional material. Suyeon watched how Junho looked at Youngwoo and realized that Junho liked Youngwoo. Suyeon tells Youngwoo that Junho likes her. But Youngwoo said that was not true. Youngwoo knows that it is not easy for a man to like her because she is autistic. Dongrami suggested Youngwoo touch Junho to see if her heart was beating fast. If her heart beats fast, then it is a sign that Youngwoo likes Junho. Youngwoo wanted to test it. But when Junho moved to approach her, Youngwoo was confused. While at the trial, Hanboda's lawyers realized that they are dealing with a team of lawyers for the Tyson law firm led by CEO Sumi. The explanation from CEO Sumi overwhelmed the Hanboda lawyer team. Even Youngwoo was impressed with CEO Sumi. Arriving home, Youngwoo searches the internet for information about CEO Sumi. Youngwoo's father was surprised to see her. The next day, Youngwoo's father comes to meet his old friend, CEO Han Seon-young. Youngwoo's father was worried about his daughter. Youngwoo's father thinks that CEO Han accepted Youngwoo to work at Hanboda to attack CEO Sumi. When leaving CEO Han's room, he met Youngwoo and Minwo. Minwo, who saw Youngwoo's father coming out of CEO Han's room, suspects that Youngwoo got the job because of connections. Meanwhile, Suyeon tells Junho to dare to express his feelings to Youngwoo. At home, Youngwoo asked her father why her father was in her office this morning. Her father told her that CEO Han was an old friend, and she who helped Youngwoo got a job at Hanboda. Hearing that, Youngwoo became disappointed and angry. Then she left the house. Minwo, who doesn't like Youngwoo, makes an anonymous post in the Hanboda bulletin about unfair hiring at Hanboda because of connections. The next day, Youngwoo became a hot topic of conversation. Suyeon defended Youngwoo from their comrades. As for Youngwoo, she didn't care about those rumors. She wants the Hanboda team of lawyers to focus on their case. The Hanboda team invited the judges to come to Sadokdong village. But the weather was rainy, so it was difficult to see the historical beauty of the village. Tyson's lawyers collected letters of approval to build a road in this village, and offered to buy the villagers' land at a high price. Many villagers signed this agreement. Youngwoo meets CEO Sumi under the hackberry tree. CEO Sumi compliments Youngwoo's intelligence, and offers her a job at Tyson. After returning from the village, Youngwoo intends to leave her father's house. She wants to prove that she is an adult and can be independent. Youngwoo also told her father that she would resign from Hanboda and work at Tyson. Youngwoo wants to prove that she was accepted to work at the company not because of connections. Hearing this, Youngwoo's father tried to prevent her, but was helpless, until he finally said that CEO Sumi was Youngwoo's biological mother. Youngwoo was shocked and took a wrong step, so she fell. Youngwoo was hospitalized. Her father tells about his past. How her mother used to leave them. After Youngwoo finds out that CEO Sumi is her mother, Youngwoo calls Myung-sok. Youngwoo came to the Tyson law firm to meet her mother. Youngwoo asks CEO Sumi if she recognizes her. CEO Sumi was confused by the question. Then Youngwoo said that she was the daughter of CEO Sumi, whom she abandoned years ago. Youngwoo turned down a job offer from her mother. Hearing that, CEO Sumi cried when she found out her daughter hated her. She regretted her actions. Apparently, Youngwoo called Myung-sok at the hospital to ask Myung-sok to arrange a nature protection certificate for the hackberry tree, to become a tree monument protected by the state, so it cannot be cut down. They won this case. The next case, a man named Bang Gopong, in his 20s, was accused of kidnapping 12 elementary school students. Bang Gopong takes the kids to the mountains to play all day. Bang Gopong wants to free the children from a life of endless learning. Children under the age of 12 are forced to study for 12 hours without eating or drinking. Even if you go to the toilet, you need permission. If the permission is more than 2 times, it is considered not serious study and told to go home. The children were happy to be free from the demands of their parents who tortured them. Bang Gopong is the youngest son of the director of the school where the children attend. The judge fulfills Gopong's wish to invite the children to come to court. While in court, Gopong's closeness to the children can be seen. Then Yongwoo defended Gopong by saying that Gopong meant no harm. He wanted to free the children from tiring study hours. He believes that students need to be given time to play as children, not to satisfy the unfair expectations of their parents. Even though Gopong's intentions are good, it is still considered a crime. With the help of the Hanbada law firm, Gopong gets a lighter sentence. Meanwhile, after Yongwoo found out her feelings for Junho, she tried to find out if Junho had the same feelings as her. She followed Dongrami's advice, opened the door, pulled out a chair for Junho, and even carried Junho's belongings. Yongwoo's treatment made Junho surprised. He asked Yongwoo why she did all these things. Yongwoo answered because she likes Junho. Junho was getting confused. Junho asked his roommate, Minwo, for advice. Minwo doesn't know that the girl Junho likes is Yongwoo. After hearing Minwo's suggestion, Junho rushed to meet Yongwoo and he said that he also liked Yongwoo. Hearing Junho's words, Yongwoo was shocked and didn't know what to do. CEO Sumi comes to see Yongwoo's father late at night. A journalist photographed the two of them. This reporter is suspicious about the relationship between CEO Sumi and Yongwoo's father. Yongwoo and Suyeon got another new case. They defended the defendant who was accused of raping his mentally disabled girlfriend. The defendant's name is Jong-il. Jong-il refuses to plead guilty. He said because he and Hae Young fell in love with each other, there was no sexual violence. Hae Young's mother is angry and intends to throw Jong-il in prison. Hae Young's mother thinks that her daughter is mentally disturbed and doesn't know how to love properly. The testimony of Hae Young, Jong-il's lover, is more corroborating than that of Yongwoo and Suyeon. Even before the trial, Hae Young had been bullied by her mother, who didn't like her boyfriend. Due to Hae Young's mental disorder, she is unable to testify to lighten Jong-il's sentence. In the end, the defendant was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison for allegedly having sexually assaulted a person with a disability. Hae Young can only cry after hearing the verdict that her boyfriend will be jailed. From this case, Yongwoo realized that it was not easy to have a relationship with a person with a disability. Then Yongwoo gave Junho a list of all the things they would do on a date, and asked him to get to know each other better before committing to a more serious relationship. Junho took Yongwoo home, and with Yongwoo's approval, Junho held Yongwoo's hand. On the way they met Junho's friends. Junho introduced Yongwoo as his girlfriend. The expressions of Junho's friends showed that they did not agree with this relationship. When Junho got together with his friends, one of his friends told Junho to date a normal woman. This made Junho angry and they got into a fight. Coming home from work, Junho took Yongwoo to his place of residence. In the corridor of the apartment, Junho expressed his sincere love for Yongwoo. Yongwoo ventured closer to Junho, until the two had their first kiss. CEO Sumi comes to meet Yongwoo's father. She wanted Yongwoo and her father to go and work at the Tyson branch office in Boston. CEO Sumi accuses Yongwoo's father of intending revenge on her, so Yongwoo works at the Hanbada office. CEO Sumi doesn't want her past to be exposed. It would damage her reputation and career as a minister of law. Yongwoo's father refused her. To be continued in part 3. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell, so you don't miss the next part.